The fight for Willow Creek Ranch. The moment I killed the engine of my Chevy pickup, a chill ran through me. My 20-acre ranch, nestled in the rolling hills of Kerrville, Texas, was crawling with strangers. A black BMW was parked on the grass near the barn. A white Tahoe blocked the path to the stables. My stomach twisted. I'd just flown back early from a 4-day conference in Colorado, cutting my trip short by a day. By 7 a.m., I was pulling up the gravel drive, coffee in hand, expecting the quiet of my Willow Creek Ranch. Instead, I saw her Marlene, the HOA president, with her sharp gray bob and fake smile, leading a young couple in suits around my property like she owned it. She waved her arms toward the barn, clipboard in hand, like a realtor closing a deal. I stepped out of my truck, boots crunching on the gravel. A man by the fence turned to me. "Sorry, sir. Private showing right now." That's when Marlene spotted me. Her eyes widened, then narrowed with fury. She stormed over, waving her phone. "You need to leave," she snapped. "Leave?" I said, stunned. "Marlene, this is my land." She shook her head. "The homeowner isn't expected back until tomorrow. You're trespassing." Then she dialed 911. As she screamed into the phone about a strange man breaking into a property we're selling, my world tilted. This wasn't just a nosy neighbor. Marlene was trying to sell my ranch me home, my sanctuary. And she just called the cops on me. My name is Tom Hargrove, a 52-year-old retired Army mechanic. After 20 years of service, I bought this ranch to heal from the scars of war. The land, with its red barn, 2 horses Buck and Daisy in a 1950s farmhouse, gave me peace. But peace didn't last long after Marlene moved in across the private road. At first, she was all smiles, dropping off a pecan pie when she arrived. Then the complaints started. "Tom, a white fence would look better. Your tractor's too loud for our retirees." Soon, typed HOA letters slid under my door, citations for wildflowers, bonfires, even unauthorized vegetation. My ranch wasn't under HOA control, but Marlene had bullied enough neighbors to claim oversight. I ignored her, but she kept pushing, threatening city complaints. When I left for Colorado, I asked my ranch hand, Javier, to check in. He said everything was fine. Clearly, something had gone wrong in the 24 hours before I returned. Standing in my driveway as Marlene ranted to the 911 operator, I stayed calm, arms crossed. Sheriff Dan Carter arrived, lights flashing. He recognized me instantly. "Tom," he said, stepping out. Marlene ran up, pointing. "That's the intruder." Dan squinted. "Ma'am, this is Tom Hargrove's ranch." Marlene froze. "No, he's lying. I have paperwork." Dan checked my ID, then turned to her. "Explain yourself, quick." She fumbled with printouts, claiming an HOA power of sale. Dan cleared the strangers off my land and asked if I wanted to press charges. I held off. I needed to know how far this went. The trouble started months earlier with a new gate, black steel, etched with a longhorn. Marlene hated it, threatening $200 daily fines. I started recording everything: letters, emails, her hissed warning. "Keep ignoring us, and we'll handle it ourselves." I didn't think she meant selling my ranch. But now I knew better. Inside my house, I found missing heirlooms, a framed photo of my late wife, Ellen, a locked shotgun case, a family Bible. The place was staged for sale. My hidden cameras, wired to a cloud backup, held the truth. As I sat to review the footage, Javier called, voice shaking. "Check the barn, Tom." The barn doors gaped open. Saddles, tools, even Buck and Daisy gone. "Javier," said Marlene, and a man named Carl, claiming to be from an HOA livestock division, had taken the horses for safety during the sale. A for sale sign stood in my yard, listing Ellen's Realty, run by Marlene's daughter, Stacy. My blood boiled, but I focused. The camera footage showed Marlene, Stacy, and Carl rifling through my home, staging an open house, even shattering Ellen's photo. This was theft, fraud, and personal. I called Sheriff Carter and showed him the footage. His jaw tightened when he saw Carl, a known con man from a nearby town. "This is bigger than Marlene," he warned. Javier returned with a flyer for an upcoming horse auction featuring Buck and Daisy. That night, we drove 2 hours to a rundown property, found my horses, and cut the fence. As we loaded them, Carl appeared, shotgun raised. "You're stealing HOA property," he growled. I lied, "Sheriff's on his way." He backed off, and we escaped with Buck and Daisy. Back home, I hired Laura Bennett, a lawyer who shredded HOA cases. She confirmed multiple felonies, including attempted fraudulent property transfer. We filed a restraining order, but Marlene fought back, posting online that I was a deranged squatter who'd forged my deed. Neighbors turned cold, but I wasn't alone. Ellen's brother, Mike, a retired Marine, arrived from Houston. He found county records proving my ranch was outside HOA jurisdiction. We taped the proof to my gate and added a camera aimed at Marlene's house. She called it harassment, but Mike just smirked. So is stealing a man's home. Then things escalated. Someone spray-painted "Get Out" on my house. Sheriff's lights flashed. A deputy claimed Marlene accused me of breaking into her home and threatening her life. Cuffed and booked, I spent 7 hours in a cell until Mike brought my footage, proving I never left my property. Laura filed defamation and false reporting charges. We launched exposedhoa.com, uploading the evidence. It went viral, hitting 250,000 views overnight. Channel 10 News interviewed me, and HOA victims nationwide shared similar stories. Marlene held a press conference, accusing me of harassment and safety violations. But then Clara Moore, the former HOA treasurer, came forward with a bombshell. Marlene was working with Lone Star developers to turn our road into a luxury suburb. My ranch was the keystone. Documents showed Marlene's plan. Her daughter's realty would profit, Carl got a cut, and HOA members got bonuses. Laura filed a class action lawsuit. But Marlene struck back, cutting my power, smashing my mailbox, and tipping off animal control. Then, at 3 a.m., my barn burned. Firefighters saved the house, but the barn was gone. Carter confirmed arson. Marlene's smear campaign peaked with a community safety walk, painting me as a danger. But support grew. We formed Save Our Homes, rallying hundreds at the county square. Days before the court date, Marlene pushed an emergency ordinance to seize my land as unsafe. At a public hearing, we presented our evidence: Clara's documents, my footage, the forged listings. The council voted unanimously against the ordinance. Marlene's face fell. 2 weeks later, she faced a grand jury, charged with fraud, trespassing, false reporting, conspiracy, and arson. She was joined by Stacy, Carl, and 2 HOA members. All were convicted. Marlene got 5 years, Stacy lost her license, and Carl went to jail. The HOA dissolved, and neighbors rebuilt their community, sharing pies and fixing fences. Clara gave me a 1960s survey map, which I framed beside Ellen's photo and a shot of Buck and Daisy. Mike and I rebuilt the barn, calling it the Rising Star. People now visit, asking to hear the story not for fame, but as a warning. Power-hungry bullies like Marlene exist everywhere. If you pass a black gate with a longhorn in Kerrville, know it's mine. I'm Tom Hardgrove, and I'm not moving. What would you have done in my shoes? Have you faced injustice or bullying in your community? Share your thoughts below. Let's debate how far we should go to fight for what's right. Your voice matters.